We're deeply worried about scholarly decoupling, about what can be lost and not much gained through the division and separation of what has been a unified global community of experts. And so just as the U.S. and China need to find a way to coexist, their scholarly communities need to do so as well. Hi, I'm Scott Kennedy, Senior Advisor and Trustee Chair in Chinese Business and Economics at CSIS. And I'm here to talk about my recent report, U.S. China Scholarly Recoupling, Advancing Mutual Understanding in an Era of Strategic Competition. This report brings together contributions from American and Chinese scholars who met over the last year because of their common interest in promoting the rebuilding of scholarly ties between the two countries. They recognize that there are a variety of risks that both countries face, but they also see huge opportunities and benefits for the national interest of both countries in the world for this recoupling to become much more healthy than it's been. In 2022, we took the initiative to begin to rebuild scholarly ties at a one-to-one level with an exchange of scholars between ourselves at CSIS and colleagues at Peking University. In 2023, we scaled that up, bringing a large delegation of leading American China experts to China in the summer of 2023, and then hosting a similarly large delegation of Chinese at CSIS in the fall of 2023. This report brings together contributions from participants in both of those conferences from a whole variety of institutions and disciplines, but with a common commitment to finding a way to address any of the kinds of risks that exist in scholarly connectivity, but with an awareness that promoting these ties benefits both countries, our institutions and academia and think tanks, our economies, our public health systems, and also can benefit our national security as well. And the contributions to this volume analyze this challenge from a variety of different perspectives in terms of what has been achieved and what risks exist, what could be done in different academic sectors such as political science, economics, AI, and what is important for governments to do, what should think tanks and universities do, what's the responsibility of individual scholars in this process. I think people have been seized by the risks and the fears of travel and scholarly exchange, and there are real reasons to be concerned, but the upsides is so high that it requires the efforts of scholars and participants in this community to themselves show leadership in restoring these relationships. Otherwise, they will fade and we will all pay a huge price for it. The U.S. China relationship has become more fraught over the last decade, and there has been extensive discussion about the need to limit connectivity with an immense amount of focus on the idea of decoupling. We're deeply worried about scholarly decoupling, about what can be lost and not much gained through the division and separation of what has been a unified global community of experts. And so just as the U.S. and China need to find a way to coexist, their scholarly communities need to do so as well. These are communities that have extensive ties that they've built up over the last several decades that have contributed much to both societies, but their rebuilding of ties won't happen automatically. And this report talks about the details and challenges as well as the big picture in figuring out what kind of relationship the U.S. and China ought to have. To read the full report, U.S. China Scholarly Recoupling, Advancing Mutual Understanding in an Era of Strategic Competition, please visit csis.org.